session. So for those of you that this is your first time, each week we do a healing session, which you can participate, add in your requests, and even watch as a repeat, because it will basically connect to as what is called the collective unconscious of the mind and the healing energy of oneness of all humanity, all sentient beings, basically. So let's begin. So welcome Mumashari, everyone else. Let's begin right away with Esther, who is having a lot of pain with her joints, issues with bladder, neuropathy, hands and feet. So each week we have, looks like 30 to 50 people put in their requests, and you can all do it, and then we work on them one by one. For myself, oftentimes I work privately for 1 hour, as long as 1 hour, but this is a boost, which is great to continue the healing momentum. And we work just as I teach it. I have a class coming up on May 20. Correct, May 20. For people that want to learn to do Tongren, it's just one afternoon from 1 to 5. So we work on a few-part process, which is basically a systemic whole body workup. Blood flow to the brain command points, biochemical and bioelectrical communication, and hello to the Georgia tribe. And Katrina and Mumashari, good to see you. Command points of the brain, command points of the brain stem. Blood flow, nerve flow. So let's do inflammation T1 to T8 for Esther. So is everybody enjoying this great weather? So let's work on the main nerves for the joints of the arms. Let's sit back so people can see, and even tap along if you like. Brachial plexus of the shoulders, lumbosacral plexus of the waist. So the neuropathy of the hands, and the neuropathy of the legs and the feet from the lumbosacral plexus. And the bladder, blood flow, nerve flow, T7, sacrum 1 to 5. And hello, angelic lights. And grounding and part 3. So part 1, blood flow to the brain. Part 2, the yin and yang of the nervous system. This is the yang, sympathetic, speed up, spinal nerves, and the yin, vagus nerve, vagal tone, gut-brain axis. Let's work on the elbows, the wrists for Esther, the knees, and the ankles. And then grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. And hello, Krista. Wow, it's been a while. I think we were here last week. Okay, so next we work on Happy Mama and Catherine. So for Catherine, the upper area, the eyes. Ouch point for the eyes. And then after that, we'll work with Happy Mama and Laura. So blood flow, nerve flow, vertebral artery, spinal artery, and C3 for the eyes. Blood flow for the eyes, 3 places. Carotid artery, vertebral artery, occipital artery. Ouch point on the eyes, blood pressure to the eyes, GV17, and C3, the nerves for the eyes. So let's focus on vertebral artery to the spinal artery and T1 for the bones for Happy Mama. T1 to 8, anti-inflammation. We want to work on perfect blood, so we want to work on the bones, bone marrow, T1, T7 for blood recycling, immune system, T1 to T8. T1 to T8. Special bone point, GB 39, 29, right above the outside ankle, and lymph T3. And for the lymph of the spine and the bones, from the craniosacral fluid, the crystal palace. Ventricle 3 in the brain, pumping craniosacral fluid down the spine, just like the microcosmic orbits in Chinese martial arts. The Crystal Palace. Where is the Crystal Palace located? It is basically in between the pineal gland, pituitary, thalamus, and hypothalamus. Those four create a little square area. In Chinese medicine, it is the crystal palace. In anatomy and physiology, it is basically the third ventricle area, the home of the craniosacral fluid. So let's continue to work on the craniosacral fluid, which is the support and nourishment for the bone marrow. The bone marrow produces blood cells, and also to have perfect blood, you need plenty of copper, which is critical for iron metabolism. In yogic science, it's called the cave of Brahma. The crystal palace. I know the pineal gland has crystals. There are 9 glands in the body that have crystals. 2 of them that I can remember, the ears and the other right off the top of my head. So let's continue for the bone marrow, which would be the craniosacral fluid from the crystal palace to the tailbone, because a maladjusted tailbone can negatively impact the craniosacral fluid, which can impact the bone marrow and even be involved in leukemia. And grounding, and let's do the lymph and then balanced chi and hormones for Laura. So where did you have the fusion, Anna Marie O'Day? Which vertebra in particular will be very targeted for you? So hormone balancing, GV20 for the pituitary. What foods have copper? Avocados, durian, greens, sea vegetables, those types of things are really good for that. In many ways, people that have anemia, it is not an iron deficiency. It is actually a copper deficiency. That is what the science has shown. You can have all the iron in the world, but if you don't have copper, it won't get anywhere. It won't get to the right place, and it won't get out of the liver. So that's the key. Anemia, that type of anemia in particular, is a copper deficiency. And yes, we have a durian fan. That is my favorite fruit in the whole planet. I had a nickname from friends in Singapore that used to just give me all kinds of durian all the time, call me durian head. Some people don't like the smell. I don't care. It's the most delicious fruit in the world, durian. Guaranteed. I've even made pies out of it. Durian, yep. So let's continue on with the hormone balancing for Laura. GV20. C6, C7, T1, L1, 2, and 3. A great supplement for hormone balancing, especially if people have breast cancer, is DIM. It's got about 15 syllables, all of which I can't remember them right now. But DIM from cruciferous vegetables, as well as broccoli sprouts. Now is a great time to eat durian. Of course, I think any time is a great time to eat durian. Pituitary hypothalamus for Laura. Castor oil packs on the belly. And let's work on for everyone. So Marilyn, your question is, you have diabetes, type 2 diabetes, I'm presuming, and can it help? Can what help? Copper or durian? Which one are we referring to? GB13-4, Worry-Free Mind. In Tong, third eye, connecting to our true selves. And grounding, lower dantian, which is a great area for everyone. Also good to support the hormone balancing, fertility, reproduction, any of those things. CB4, grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. And for angelic lights, Lightax, neck pain. I have an itch, not a pain. But let's see, we have Worldly Newbie and the Georgia Tribe. Sound like a rock and roll band. And neck pain. We got a few people with neck pain, TMJ, occipital headaches. Okay. So occipital headaches would be a very specific point. GB17, BL9, GB19, GB20. GB20 is a very specific point for occipital headaches and migraine headaches. Right here on both sides. So let's begin our 3-part process. Hypothyroid, that can be another discrepancy of fluoride. So make sure you're getting plenty of iodine and eliminating fluoride from your water drinking. Sea vegetables. Blood flow to the brain, command points to the brain. So we're going to work on sinus congestion. I'm glad you're feeling the focus. So we have some muscle pain in 3 areas. So part 1, shoulders, shoulder release point, sky window for the neck. So that's for the tight shoulders. Tight neck, C1 to C7. Neck pain, TMJ, C3, 4, and 5. Ouch point for the whole jaw for angelic lights. And the whole occiput area. The back of the skull, GB20. The doll even has that point there because it's so important. If you look in the anatomy of the skull, it's an intersection of many blood vessels. And if there is tension, that will create blood supply issues for the brain and migraines and other types of headaches. The entire occiput, which is good blood supply for the brain for everyone. And Marilyn, did you say which specific thing we were talking about? Tapping. Oh, tapping, good for that. Yeah, absolutely. Type 1, type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is primarily caused by insulin resistance. So if you reduce your fat intake to 10 to 20%, make all your fat intakes healthy fats from plant-based foods primarily, that will reduce it tremendously, eliminate, of course, processed sugars, inflammatory foods, do plenty of exercise. You can reverse diabetes, type 2 diabetes. It's a thing. Tapping will work on the pancreas, blood flow, circulation, and inflammation. All of those things which are related as well. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. 2, 1 to 8. Inflammation for arthritic knees for the Georgia tribe. C6, C7, hypothyroid. Pituitary, thyroid, parathyroid, C6, C7. Tight shoulders, let's do that again. Shoulder release point for the neck pain. So let's do all the nerves of the neck and shoulders. For angelic lights, Krista Grace, brachial plexus nerves. And while we're here, also for Krista, sinus congestion. So work on the sinuses. The eyes, which are connected to the sinuses. The ears, which are connected to the sinuses. And C3, connected to the sinuses and congestion. Glad you're feeling the chi strongly. T1 to T8, anti-inflammation. And for everyone, belief in the best being possible, you are. Yes, massage that point on the back of the neck. Finishing the sinus congestion. And Anna Marie, you're coming up next. Faris, for your mom. I wish so much you were getting better. Hopefully she's at least stable. So hello, Rosalind and Anna Marie O'Day. It is L4, L5. Let's do it. Blood flow to the brain. Blood flow to the brain. Brain command points. As we work our way down for sleep, in Tong area, pineal gland, GB17, instability for while walking, wakes up at night, T7, left side. Let's go for it, L4, L5 for Anna Marie. So blood flow and nerve flow, we want blood flow T7, right side. L4, L5 for the nerve areas. So hydration can help with these a lot as well. Hydration, I think you said these are actually fused now, right? Fusion, okay. So L4, L5 for sure. Blood flow and nerve flow. And let's do a little extra for the eyes. I know for your mom, Ferris. Ouch point for the eyes, C3 for the eyes, and this is also for Catherine. C3 for the eyes. So the vein supplement is on the way. The eye supplement will be mailed on Friday. And if you just give me feedback on those things. Blood flow to the brain, 3 parts. Carotid artery, vertebral artery, occipital artery again for everyone. L4, L5, that's also part of the lumbosacral plexus. And we have a seaweed question. Who doesn't like seaweed questions? Yep, I got a good answer for you. Let me just roll these up. And grounding for Anna Marie. Herniated discs. So let's do for Anna Marie O'Day and Gina Chavez the entire spine. Be well hydrated so the discs are plump. They're mostly water. They're just basically sponges and cushions for your vertebra. So if you drink a lot of water, you can greatly improve the flexibility and durability and longevity of your entire spine. But let's do C1 to C12 for Gina and Anna Marie. And pain from the back to the legs, that's the lumbosacral plexus. And we can support that with bladder 54. And for Ferris's mom, balancing GB13 left side, right side. Balancing the frontal lobe. And from Mumashari, prostate cancer. So I was reading it again, another great article on modified citrus pectin. Incredibly beneficial for prostate cancer. So anyone with prostate cancer should be taking that. Simple, it's a pectin, it's a binder. So that's one of the best ones, as well as herbs for the prostate. We have another prostate for Bill Anthony. Blood flow to the brain. So the prostate, we have a specific name. So this is Mumashari talking about cancer, prostate to the bone. So there are specific herbal nutraceuticals from Dr. Rath for preventing metastases. He wrote a book, which I have right here. Victory Over Cancer. Sounds good. T1 to T8 for anti-inflammation. T1 for the bones. So we are about 6:30. So if he wants to roll up to his own, it's about halfway through. But I suggest he listen to the whole recording. And Bill Anthony, we also have Parkinson's. So there's a new test, very specific for very specific bacteria that are known to be in the gut. They create a dysbiosis. They create a problem in the gut. They create specific proteins which migrate by way of the vagus nerve up to the brain and muck up and block up the brain. So make sure you eliminate constipation, digestion, and fermented foods, and colon cleanses like I recommend as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. For any shaking, there's a very specific herb I recommended to somebody the other day, and they came back and they said their shaking was just about all gone. It's called Mucuna pruriens for shaking with Parkinson's. Precursor to dopamine. T7 and L3, prostate cancer. Andy, oh, his name is Andy. Okay, I see that now. Andy, hello, Andy. And Bill Anthony. And Marilyn, good to see you. Glad to see you're a fan. It's great. We have a healing community of amazing people here. This is fun. Thumb knuckle. Thumb knuckle, not sure what that means. And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. So the question is, which is better, kelp or seaweed? They're all good, but if you have a thyroid issue, avoid kelp. All others are good. Kelp is super high in iodine, so that might be too much. Otherwise, all sea vegetables are good. Kelp is a seaweed. It's a very special kind. Grows like 4 feet in a day. But wakame, nori. My recommendation for buying any seaweed is from the Seaweed Man, Larch Hansen in Maine. It's the only one I can recommend. He also has a great kit of a starting kit for sea vegetables and a great book, Seaweed Soul, so you can make excellent seaweed recipes. Yep. Kelp is contraindicated if you have any thyroid issues. It's too high until it normalizes, and then you can take all you like. Blood flow to the brain. So we work on severe brain injury, vanishing thoughts. So that would be a good way to do 3 blood supplies to the brain. Carotid artery, sky window, vertebral artery on the top of the trapezius, and the occipital artery for the brain. So we want blood flow for the brain. Let's do a complete brain tune-up for the concussion. GB13 left side and right side. So from This Is Fun, somebody that is called This Is Fun, under the thumb, side of hand, thumb, knuckle. No idea. Very cryptic. Could be a code for winning lottery ticket. Not really sure. There are even kelp noodles. Those are cool. You can get noodles, and then if you have a really good sauce, it will inherit that flavor. So you get an incredibly great spaghetti. So let's work on the thyroid and parathyroid for fatigue. So we'll work on your thumb. This is fun. Thumb knuckle. Oh, that's your request. I get it. It could be arthritis for sure. Yep, definitely. This is fun. We'll work on that. And Kim Childs, reducing anxiety, which we're working on right now. GB13. And sleep for Kim as well. GB13, balancing out. There are great frequencies on YouTube you can play at nighttime for sleep. And you can also get something which I think is called quantum sleep. It's a PEMF device specifically for sleep. Comprehension issues, GB13 right side, left side. GB17, cardiac respiratory vasculatory center. There's a great herbal supplement called Brain On from a company called E3 Live, which would be great for your brain and for your concussions. Okay, anti-inflammation. So, sleep for Marilyn, and reducing anxiety, GB13 for Kim. And the thumb knuckle, is it the right hand or left hand? Side of hand, okay. There are many, many bones in the hand, so let's work on all of them. But the source of the hand muscles, hand bones and muscles are in the shoulders. Do you have any shoulder pain or shoulder injury? Hurts to bend thumb when you crochet. That sounds like a repetitive motion condition where you need to do twisting for your elbow and your shoulder. Could be arthritis, so let's rule that out as well. T1 to T8. Left. I see it. Okay. T1 to T8 anti-inflammation. No shoulder pain, so let's go further down to the elbows, the wrists, and the fingers on the left side in particular. But the twisting exercises like these, like they do in martial arts. I've taught these to musicians. This will help the repetitive motion in the wrist, in the elbow, and in the wrist, and help you to be able to work with your crochet. Under the thumb. As well as hearing loss. So blood flow, which is the carotid artery, and the cranial nerves for the ears, and the ouch point for the ears. So for anyone with repetitive motion, golfer's elbow, tennis elbow, what you do is you take your hand like this, you move it past your hip, pretend you have a cup of tea in your hand. When you go behind You maintain that cup of tea behind, and then you bring your hands out, both of them to meet like this. So like this, and meet. This will help your elbow. And just twisting and massaging right in the where that crease is. You'll feel it underneath. Okay. Definitely you can fix it. Tim Keys, hello, how are you doing? So we're going to work for intrigue, settler, digestion, heart. So let's work on our 3-part process. Blood flow to the brain. Good to see you, Tim. Blood flow to the brain command points. Initialize the brain wound connection. Ooh. Blood flow to the brain command points. Brain stem command points. And C3, 4, and 5 for tooth sensitivity, upper left hand jaw. Anti-inflammation, T1 to T8. Tooth sensitivity, upper left. And the ouch point for the jaw. And these are great names: Jolly Habitant, Curious Guest, Intrigued Settler, Joyful Eating, Joyful Earthling, sorry. So let's work with digestion, T8 to T12. Digestion, absorption, and elimination. And Tim, for lower leg ulcers, have you ever tried clay packs or castor oil packs on the legs? You can even rub the castor oil in leg ulcers. And then bitter herbs for the liver to help with the skin detox relationship between the liver and the skin. And then osteoarthritis, we will work on that right now too. Vertebral artery to spinal artery. Castor oil packs, clay packs. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for osteoarthritis, T1 to T8. L4, L5, C6, C7, T1 for spinal stenosis, calcium balancing, and T1 to T8 for inflammation, and lumbosacral plexus for the hip inflammation for Kent. and hip to hip for the inflammation on the hips. And blood flow, T7, T1 to T8 for vasculitis and osteoarthritis. So there's a good question. If you are helping someone else, are the other listeners also helped even though they weren't the ones to mention the problem area? The answer is absolutely yes. That is very true. And continue vasculitis. I recommend there's an herb called Vein Health, Tim, which can help with your circulation and the strength of your arteries and to help them to repair with specific herbs, hawthornberry and others. And then topically to increase circulation from the perspective of lymph drainage and blood flow, that would be castor oil packs, castor oil, and then to heal the ulcers would be castor oil, frankincense, and clay in a poultice, and I would put that overnight. Okay, so let's work directly on the ouch point for the leg ulcers, on the back of the legs, and then the front of the legs. That's a good question. This is fun, but absolutely when we're all kind of focused, even if it's not your specific turn, but if a condition comes up similar to yours or what you need, it will still help you, yes. That's why a lot of people stay for the whole hour, because they continue to get all of the benefits. Great question, thank you. So, Jolly Habitant, kidney tumor cancer, uterine fibroid. Uterine fibroid can be fixed by castor oil packs. Even better still, there's a company called The Fertility Shop, I think it's called. They have a castor oil pack herbal kit for uterine fibroids specifically. And you can use that similar castor oil if you want also as a castor oil pack for the kidneys, but alternate regular castor oil packs to kidney the uterine fibroid areas. I would do those too. That would help both of those tremendously. So let's do our 3-part process. Command points of the brain. But let's also work with Tongren on the tumor, kidney tumor cancer and the uterine fibroids. Uterine fibroids, that kit is built for that. And that in and of itself will reduce inflammation and support and help your kidneys as well. Kidneys, cancer, oxygen, 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 heat, oxygen, all those different things. So let's work on the oxygen system, which is the phrenic nerve, sky window to CV17, the diaphragm. Breathing techniques are also really good for cancer. So let's work on the kidneys, L2. Fibroids, L3. So they're very close, so they're probably impacting each other. T1 to T8 for infection and C3, C4 for the root canal infection. T8 to T12 for less stomach pain, gastritis. Leg skin, leg bump, believe it or not, work on the liver. Take bitter herbs, eat lots of green vegetables, and reduce your fat intake to 10 to 20%. No junk food. Things show up in the skin because the liver couldn't handle it. That's what happens. It's a toxin that comes out in the skin because the liver couldn't process it properly. got to go for that uterine fibroid kit. Or at least castor oil pack immediately on the belly, on the lower belly area. Guaranteed that will help. Yes, this is fun. It is amazing, but it works. I've been doing it 25, maybe over 25 years now. Wow. In this lifetime. So, husband, acute cough and runny nose. Blood flow to the brain. Runny nose. So, if you're mouth breathing, if you do nasal breathing instead of mouth breathing, it is much more nitric oxide, which is cleansing for the sinuses. But let's work on it. Eyes, nose, sinuses, ears, sinus cavities, and C3 and C4. For a runny nose, there's a great tea called Phlegmonade. Yes, Phlegmonade from a company called Jeans Greens. Post shingles pain, T1 to T8. We will fit it in. This is fun, absolutely. And while you're looking, check out DIM product, hormone balancing, and black raspberry leaf tea. Glaucoma, GV17. And Jolly Habitant for Daniel, weakness, can't walk. Add in lots of copper foods. Avoid fluoride foods. Avoid white flours. Blood pressure normalization, GV17. Also for the cardiovascular, also GV17. BL9 for can't walk. I suggest for the black raspberry or great tea for those things, go to a website called jeansgreens.com. I think they've got a tea called Smooth Balancing. Otherwise, they have it directly. That's my herbal apothecary where I go, called jeansgreens.com. Ask for Holly or Nora. And can you get it from any other source? For hormone balancing, that's pretty much the best one that I know of. Otherwise, adaptogenic herbs which balance out the hormones, like ashwagandha or maca, holy basil, all of those types. Yeah, look up a company called Himalaya. They'll have an herbal Ayurvedic-based remedy for that. You use ashwagandha, but it's not helping. Oh. That should help, but maybe holy basil. Take a look for that one. T1 to T8, autoimmune condition. Long COVID. Systemic enzymes to get rid of the spike proteins. Heart arrhythmia, you can solve that with breathing techniques. I have a whole course on it, including the supplies for helping with arrhythmias. So definitely for the heart, you want things like what I would recommend, hawthorn berry solids, pure hawthorn berry from Herbalist and Alchemist. It's like a paste for all heart and strengthening issues, for valve prolapse and cataracts. Let's work on C3 for the cataracts, T5 for the heart, T1 to T8 for long COVID. What I would recommend also for This Is Fun, to contact the woman Hethi, Hethi Rodriguez, at the website thefertilityshop.com. She's a master of all of the hormone stuff. She would be a great resource to check out as well. Cataract Left Eyes, there's a book, Cancer, the Eye Cure, NAC, for the eyes. Cataract Cure is the book, right on that. Tips for Memory, Blood Flow, and a supplement called Brain On by the company E3 Live. T1 to T8 for inflammation, GB13 for the memory as well. T1, 2, 3, 4, T1 to T8 for anti-inflammation. T8 is pancreatic enzymes, which are systemic enzymes, which are anti-inflammatory for any condition. Shingles is an Epstein-Barr virus, so there's also tinctures you can do for the Epstein-Barr virus source itself. So let's do a detox for everyone, then a lymph drainage for everyone. T4 for the skin. So T3 for the lungs, T4 for the skin, for mold and chemicals. There's a great detox kit for mold and chemicals from Dr. Group's company. So, detox, T4, L2, T7. The best thing for molds and chemicals is, of course, a binder, and clay is your best binder. Clay foot soaks and clay baths. There was a guy, he was a car mechanic. He took a clay bath, took him a few times, not too much. And then he had an oil slick because all the oil in his skin eventually came out from all of his work with exposure for chemicals. But the clay is one of the best things you can do for it. So, lymph drainage for everyone. Sky window. Hopefully you'll be back with us again. This is fun. Let me know if you have any further questions. Definitely adaptogenic. The ashwagandha did not work, it seems. Black raspberry leaf tea may be another option. I would definitely contact Jean's Greens That's with the JEANS.com. Or the woman here at the fertilityshop.com. Those two resources will get you further. Axillary lymph, inguinal lymph. Hello, Esther. You were first. Let's do some more for Esther. Bladder, CV4. Joints, shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, and ankles. Also good for neuropathy. So grounding. Yes, this is fun. Please stay connected with our healing community. We are a great group of international people. So we do a little bit of Qigong to charge the battery. We open up blockages, just like we remove a dam from a river. And now we want to give more water or Qi to the batteries. To the organs, tissues, and body. Blessings to everyone. Look forward to seeing you all next week. As always, be kind to one another. Let the energy continue to flow. Have some water or some electrolytes, like something with a lot of good minerals. Support your livers. Reduce your anger. Bitter herbs. Healthy greens. And blessings to all. Thank you. Thank you to you, Marilyn, as well. Jolly One, you're welcome. Have a great day, everyone.